Good afternoon. Live from Nissan Stadium at Toy Field, where we are at Gate 6. Come bring your toys for the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels. I'm Lucas Panzica. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase had massive nights as the Bengals beat the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium on Monday Night Football, 27-20. The Bengals move to 5-8. They will have a short week of rest before visiting the Titans on Sunday. Heisman finalists were revealed Monday night before kickoff. Colorado star Travis Hunter, Boise State running back Ashton Genty, Miami quarterback Cam Ward, and Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel will be in attendance at the Heisman ceremony in New York this weekend. College hoops, the number one ranked Tennessee Vols are at the Miami Hurricanes tonight. Tip-off is at 5:30. The Vols looking to stay unbeaten, and the Nashville Predators looking to end a 7-game slide back home tonight to host the Calgary Flames, a 7 p.m. puck drop at Bridgestone Arena. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045. You want to get on the conversation. And we are live at Nissan Stadium. The Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank is today. Come inside Gate 6 to drop off some toys for some kids. We are building a field of toys to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program, and we need your help. While you're out doing your holiday shopping day, pick up an extra new unwrapped toy or gift for a senior and bring it today to Toy Field to help fulfill the dreams of thousands of children in need this holiday season. Parking and curbside drop-off at Nissan Stadium is available in Lot H in front of Gate 6 on the West Plaza. Drive by and drop off your unwrapped toy or gift for a senior, elderly, to benefit the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program and help us create miracle moments for families in our community. Thanks to our partners who help make Toy Field possible, First Horizon Bank. Then you also have pig and pie for breakfast, so Charlie's Lunch. A.O. Smith is participating, and of course we have the Law Tigers also participating. That's a mouthful right there, but it's for a good cause. This is really cool.
You're the perfect person to do that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite moments here. Make sure, it's on the side of the water. Who people don't understand, west, east, concourse. I'm one of those guys. That's why I'm really actually talking to myself and not Kirby. Because Kirby would know, but Banana definitely would know. I love this time of the year, giving and helping out our community. This is one thing 104.5 The Zone has done since I've worked here over the 16 years, I think, Kirby. How long have I been here? 15, 16? Whatever. It's been a long time. 16, yeah. So it's it's one of my, dear in my heart. I feel, giving back to the community. I think us connected with the community with 104.5 The Zone has been fabulous, and our community always steps up when we ask them to be a part of helping our community in whatever fashion that is. Even when there was hurricanes and anything else that we've had here in Nashville, and surrounding cities. So man. So stop by. Bring whatever you need, even, for Bananas. He loves these little bikes here with the, tricycles here and everything else, because he still rides them because he said it keeps him flexible in his hips so he could have explosiveness when he has to jump over the table and show that he's a real athlete.
I've been eyeing this purple one back here in the back right corner. I think I'm going to ask Santa Claus for that for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to go for the orange and black for UT colors over to your left?
Oh, my.
Well, it's got some blue on it. It looks like more like Florida.
I see it now.
What was your favorite kind of bike growing up, though, just now that you said that? Mine was like a Z, I forgot what it got, but I had a, Evel Knievel. You probably don't even know nothing about that.
I had a mountain bike that I put, I
had a Swin mountain bike.
Yeah. That I put the, what are the things you go on the back tire so you can stand on it? I don't remember what
with
they're
those things
called.
on the back, on the outside.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can do some flips and tricks.
Yeah, I put that on my
Did you
mountain
used to
bike.
spin your bike
Yeah.
around and all that?
I could not do that.
Oh, I didn't either.
I've tried.
I was just
fell.
happy with jumping up on the curb.
Yeah, I had a
What about you?
Huffy mountain
Oh,
bike.
Huffy. Okay, yeah. I was right there with you. I think that might have been my first bike.
Yeah.
The Huffy. Because at that time there was something called Kmart, and we would shop there.
Easton Freeze from A to Z Sports, a frequent guest on the show, he can't ride a bike. So there's a lot of options here for him with tricycles and stuff to start learning. Trainer bikes.
Wait a minute. How do you? That's almost like
That's just a rumor I've heard.
You're like, it's like you're 40 and you still don't know how to drive. I mean, you have to be able to
Buck
ride a
can't
bike.
swim.
Well, okay, I get. Maybe he's just scared of water.
Well, I mean, maybe he's scared of bikes. I don't know.
No.
Maybe
everybody at some point in time has gotten on a bike, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on this? Am I way out left field? Like, maybe we should put that out there. How many people do you know should actually know how to ride a bike? It should be 100%, right? Or like 99.9.
everybody should know how to ride a bike. At least.
Is that wrong?
I mean, I feel like everybody should.
Let's bring on Kirby, who is level-headed here. Kirby, like, what is the percentile of how many people you think have ridden a bike throughout their life?
In the country?
And no, just in general.
Oh, 65%, 60%.
65. So you think 40% of people
there's a lot of
never rode
countries
bikes?
and a lot of areas
No,
that
I'm just
don't have
United
bikes.
States. Okay.
So, there's a lot of folks in the world.
Okay.
I'm shocked that more people don't know how to swim than ride a bike, though. I mean, swimming is a survival skill. Riding a bike is transportation.
But you can avoid a bike, but most people have gotten bikes as a youth.
Most Americans, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So what percentage would you say of that? Americans?
Oh, 80.
80. Okay. You Bananas. Bananas has he's got somewhat like valedictorian behind his name, so I think I trust him over you. Let's go.
I don't blame you.
I'd agree with Kurt.
You
but
have knowledge.
Probably 80-85%.
80, 85? Okay, now we go to Boy Wonder here. Yeah, Boy Wonder.
Are we talking worldwide?
No, I just said the United States. Yeah.
I'd say 80 to 85%.
80, 85?
Yeah,
oh, man.
I'd
So
agree
I'm
with
off.
that.
So Ding Dong here said 99.9. So everybody, we will put that out there. I just would assume everybody's got a bike. Maybe now not as much so because a lot of people stay inside, at least during my younger years. Everybody was outside. And now not so much, a little different time. So I guess I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I just find it amazing when someone doesn't, know how to swim, know how to ride a bike, because that's just second nature.
It is.
Like, for at least for me. Yeah. So I just find it very
Can you believe that I wanted to be an Olympic swimmer?
I would not have known that had you not already told me that.
Yeah.
But I don't think people know this, you were a swimmer.
Yeah, that was kind of my first goal. I was really big into swimming. I think it actually helped develop my body, and that's how I became kind of explosive and powerful. Kicking all the time, my legs got really strong. I wanted to be a freestyle breaststroke champion in the Olympics. Then I realized that it was going to be real hard to make money. So when I got to high school, I kind of filtered out of all that. I also did diving, too. I have some diving medals, 3-meter, 12-foot, platform. So, I was really into that. It was actually my first love as far as sports are concerned. So, it's, I always would suggest to everybody, not just because of where it could get you, but to start with swimming and develop your body and cardiovascular as well as your muscle tone. And, it was very valuable. Something that I actually did all the way through my pro career.
Yeah.
I used to sneak in the Y in the mornings during the off seasons there in Maryland Farms, and I would do my training regimen there and jump out of the pool and 3 feet and everything else.
I got recruited to swim, and when I found out that you had to keep everything shaved, and then you have to you have to put on a speedo, you have to put on a speedo and all this stuff. I was like, I'm out.
Oh, you were scared to shave?
Yeah, I'm a trunk swimmer, just trunks.
Well, I am too.
I don't need to do anything else.
Well, how weird is this? I had to shave actually when I start getting taped for a football, and so it looks weird because I'm kind of hairy. You can see on my hands, and then you just shave up to your calf, and it looks really weird in the summer times. That what is going on with this guy's leg? So then that led me to just shaving all of it at some point in time. Not now, but yeah.
So I did a little research about this bike thing, and this was a study
research?
from.
You did research?
Yeah, some research. There's a study from 2015, so it might be out of date.
Okay.
But it's the only one I could find. It said that 94% of Americans can ride a bike.
So Easton's in that 6% that can't.
Oh, well, okay. Who was close? I said 99.
Yeah,
so.
you did.
Oh, so
It was
okay.
you, yeah.
I was closer, man.
close.
Yeah, this is like at home. I felt like
Yeah.
I beat my cum laude wife.
There you go.
2015.
Yeah.
So it could be a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirby's over here talking off air. But, I just like to know. So, yeah, we always get a lot of bikes here for, Toy Field, man. So that's really cool. So keep bringing the gifts. We keep seeing people coming in and out here at Concourse 6, man. So continue to contribute and be part of our community.
Let's go to the phones just real quick and get in. Trent from Nashville wants to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers. Trent, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's going on, Blaine? What's up, Zach?
What's up?
What's happening?
Hey, so real quick, I want to let you guys know, I heard you talking about the bicycles and stuff. There was pegs that you was thinking about, right?
There it is.
Oh,
Pegs.
yes, pegs.
Yep,
Yeah, the
that's it.
bananas. I could not.
All right, so real quick,
Mulligan.
I am just optimistic about our chances. I think we can beat Ohio State. I just think after that is going to be our most difficult test. I want to get your guys' opinion on that, and I'll shut up and listen.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, having to go from Ohio State to Oregon is going to be tough. I think Oregon is, I mean, obviously so. They're the best team in college football, but they are the best team in college football. Like, I mean, offense is fantastic. Defense is fantastic. Special teams is good.
Oh, so if UT wins, they play Oregon?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no
the Rose
reseeding.
Bowl.
Yeah, there's no reseeding, which is also kind of a hindrance to other teams that are in lower seeds. And so
Which is
the
unfair. They'll
Volunteers
change.
is going to have to face, really, they got the toughest part of the bracket is going Ohio State then Oregon. And Oregon is going to face the toughest of any of the other teams right after that.
I'm going to say this. I think Tennessee, if their offense plays like they did the last couple of games, I think they'll win the national championship.
Yeah.
I think with their defensive line and their defense, especially Ohio State here in this game, was a lot of pressure on Ohio State to win this game with their head coach. They're going to feel that pressure. And in this cold weather, they're built for the cold weather with the running game and great defensive play. So I think Tennessee will win that game. And then coming to Oregon, Oregon is somewhat of a finesse team. So I'm interested to see how they match up in the trenches. Now, they've gotten a lot bigger since they got in the Big Ten. They knew had to go out and get recruit with big guys. But guess what? They don't have enough of those big guys.
Yep.
And so I think eventually the wear and tear there. So if they get on a run and they get hot and Nico starts, connecting with guys on those deep balls and get into a rhythm, which I want to believe that he's there. But we have to see it. I think they can go on a run that could be pretty magical. We shall see. I think Tennessee is a lot better than most people think. The bracket is going to be tough, but if they get through those first two, I think that they have to be the favorite if they get past Oregon.
Definitely. If they get past Oregon, all bets are off. All bets are off here as we go, and we're live from the Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank, all the way here with you till 6 p.m. 3HL will also be here inside Gate 6. Make sure you come drop off some toys for some kids that are in need this holiday season. When we come back, we're going to talk about why Sunday's historical game and historical loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, why it's historic, and why it's actually a good thing for Brian Callahan. We're going to talk about that next. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. You want to get in on the conversation. We got Bananas and Kirby here on site. We got Sammy back in the studio, making sure that your phone calls get through to us. And we're, of course, at the Toy Field at Nissan Stadium, presented by First Horizon Bank. And big bank muscle, small bank hustle. I like that slogan by First Horizon Bank. They make the Toy Field possible.
That's cool.
It's fantastic out here. Gate 6, come park on the Riverside in Lot H and bring in some toys. We're here till 6 p.m. 3HL will also be on site as well. It's fantastic. We got O'Charlie's catering lunch. We have also the Law Tigers participating in Pig and Pie. Was breakfast this morning. I should have woke up early, maybe drove down for that. And then, of course, we have A.O. Smith. Find a local water heater supplier near you. Visit hotwater.com. All right. Let's talk some football. And I was going to talk about the
right?
Yeah, I love football. I was going to talk about the historic loss on Sunday because there is a historical context to it. But, Blaine, I didn't really do a Lions segment yesterday, and I'm not asking for the Lions Den music or anything, but we're going to put some people in the chat on the Lions Den. There are people in the chat on the F&M Bank chat on Zone TV, specifically on YouTube, but you can also be on Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah,
That's the other one.
Yeah, Banana's in there disguised.
Yeah.
He's a different name.
But there are people in this chat that think that the Chig Okonkwo play that Will Levis didn't, nobody was 10 yards around him.
No, you talking about the one he missed?
Yeah, the one that he missed.
All right.
That would have been a touchdown that could have won you the game, by the way. That it's a bad play design.
Oh.
There's literally people in here who think that's a bad play design.
Bananas, why did you say that?
What?
I know you were that
no,
person.
no.
You said that. I know it was you.
Here's why. They think it's too hard for a quarterback to go from one side of the field to the other. And I'm like, I put in there, turn your head right now. How quick is that? The problem was Levis. I mean, what are we doing here?
If you listened to Callahan's press conference yesterday, he said that they ran a similar play
early in the game.
5 plays earlier.
And it was the one to Josh Wiley where he looked right, went left.
Yeah.
Josh Wiley was right open, and he got 15 yards after that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is immediately covered by 3 or 4 defenders, by the way. So that's why Chig was so open, because the play design worked. And the play design is go Jeffrey Simmons real quick. If he's covered, then you go over to Chig. The problem is that he didn't do the reads fast enough. That is not a human thing. That's not really hard.
Here's
Look
what
at me.
I said yesterday. I thought he before snap read, he's already got in his head who he's going to throw to.
Yeah.
Instead of going through his progressions. And that's what I think is his issue. What do you see, Banana?
Callahan also said yesterday that Chig was the second read.
Yes,
and
yes.
And then I think, I'm not sure if this, but did Levis say something in his post game and said that, Nick was the second read?
He saw Nick flashing open, which
at the
really,
last minute.
if you saw Nick flashing open, you should have seen Chig,
he was right in front of him.
naked open. Is what he was. That's how Ron Slay put it.
Yeah, he was wide open.
I mean, that's ridiculous to think that that's a weird play design or a bad play design. That's standard quarterbacking.
Yeah. What I love here, though, is how Callahan called him out without calling him out.
Yeah.
See, and that's the style I like, because everybody then knows on the team he didn't say verbally that he messed up. He just called it out as it was supposed to happen. And then players respect that. And then you don't lose your locker room. So that is what I like about it, because it's pretty obvious to all of us watching and everybody else that he was supposed to throw to Chig. It was, if you throw to the guy further back, he's right in front of him. Chig was actually waiting for the rebound in case the guy didn't catch it. You saw him? He was like, oh my, it's a tough catch. He may not get to it.
And that's why he went backwards, and it was closer to Nick Vanette than he was.
On the throw.
Well,
on the throw.
94% of Americans know that that's a play design, a good play design. The other 6% can't ride bikes. The other 6% can't ride bikes and think that's a bad play design.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so let's talk about that loss, because the other day, immediately after the loss, when Brent Doherty's reading out that the Tennessee Titans won time of possession, they won the turnover battle. They had less penalties. They only allowed the offense to score 10 points. All those things should mean that Tennessee Titans won that game. I kept saying that has to be some historical context to it. So I went and looked.
You think so? You think so?
I did. So I went and looked. So when a team has 4 or less penalties, has a 50% or more third down conversion rate, which Tennessee Titans did, when they win the time of possession battle.
Time of possession?
Yeah. Well, I said position, didn't I? Possession, and have a turnover margin of 2 or better, so +2 or better. And the opponent has 5 or more penalties, which they did, a 49% or less third down conversion rate, which they did, and scores only 10 points. The Tennessee Titans are the first and only team to have ever lost a game like that. The rest of them, 80 games besides that game, all wins. That's how improbable. Over since 1920.
Oh, my.
So teams are 80-1 when Titans are the lone loss. And it all goes back to this play that we were just talking about, which is a good play design, which worked.
It was a great play design.
A great play design, really.
By the way, me in the stadium, I was saying, I was wondering if he used analytics to go for it.
Yeah.
Because they did have momentum. They were dominating, in the trenches. But there was still a part of me that said, I think I would take the field goal.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that in hindsight. But at the time, I said, ooh, why are we going?
Yeah. Because he had the play.
Right.
He had a play that he saw worked earlier.
Right. And see, that I did not know. I'm just watching the game. Until we go back and watch it, I go,
right.
That's why he decided to run that play. So I don't think a coach could set you up for success any more than that.
Exactly. And
man.
So to me, when I look at this all points back to what we have said since week 1 almost. In some of these games, you can directly point to where Will Levis is just not able to play at a high level. And he has to be a better version of himself when you're in the red zone. Everything's more condensed. Everything moves faster.
But this is an easy read here.
Yeah.
It was tight.
I agree.
This one here is not like this field. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But this one, it's hard to come back from. And I think Will Levis just is learning really hard how to be a pro's pro and be a quarterback of the national. I don't know if he's ever really been taught how to actually play quarterback. And when I say that, I'm not making excuses for him. I'm saying that going through progression reads throughout all the things we could say good or bad about Will Levis, that's always been an issue.
Yeah.
Remember you kept saying a beat late. Well, he's a beat late because he can't go through them. It's not natural to him because he hasn't been doing it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I watched Joe Burrow last night and I go, oh my. And now he has some aha moments there too.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you hold on to the ball and things of that nature. But then he comes back and he just keeps pounding the pavement. And then he's got Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. So that's good too. So I just don't know if he'll ever get it. And I think that's what you gotta, sink your teeth into the rest of the season. Can he get it and then sustain that throughout an entire game? Because there are times that he does, but then there is a majority. It's just not who he is, and he just won't do it for whatever reason. He had time in this game. He got impatient. He started hopping because he was like, dang, I'm usually getting hit at this time.
Yeah.
And so he had time. And I get there's a little scarness to being quarterback and getting hit a lot. But he has to go through the progressions whether you're getting protection or not. And that's something that's been glaring the entire season. So I want to see improvement in that.
And even on the play to NWI, the touchdown play, Brian Callahan said it. If he would have gone through his progressions, he would have seen that the second read, Calvin Ridley was wide open for the first down. Instead, he went and the instincts took over. His bad instincts took over and went to play hero ball instead of taking it. And that's what happens when here's what it is to me. When he gets into the red zone or even in these other high pressure situations that may be outside of the red zone, like the last drive to last chance to try to score, he reverts back to his old habits, and his old habits are bad. And even also all the progress that he made from the 0-yard line to the 80-yard line for these last 4 weeks before this game all get washed away because you need a quarterback in high pressure moments to show up, and he just refuses to do it. He doesn't refuse to do it. He just doesn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I wanted to see him do this, and man, he disappoints in the most critical moments. and this team doesn't have a lot of room for error. We all know this, right? So it's really tough. And all of it's not on him, too. You know, you got the Ridley pass. Thought he should have thrown it sooner, but Ridley should have still been able to turn up, reach the ball out, and then get the first down. So there's a lot of players make him say he's a veteran player, not a young player.
Right.
You know, so that then there
the momentum excuse or the speed excuse kind of gets a little. That falls on deaf ears on my end.
I don't buy in that. I buy into you should have awareness, understanding. And you may not know where the guy was because you're running this going a lot faster than we're watching it on film, but you got to have awareness that I have to get the first down. So I have to do everything I can as soon as I catch it, even if I don't know where the first down is, to reach and turn up as much as I can, at least make it a close call.
And what have we always talked about is one of Ridley's best traits is his feet. That start and stop, his ability to do all that. And then where did that ability show up on that play? Doesn't really matter in my mind that Will Levis was late. And that's what, Brian Callahan said. He was late on that throw. Even if he was late, there was still time for Ridley to make a play that he is paid to make.
But he should have been able to turn and reach. And it should have been him in the sideline battling to see how far he gets that ball up, above the first down marker. So, those are the things. And he's a veteran player.
Yeah.
And I think what's happened here is that one mistake like that is continuous throughout the whole team, which is really weird that they have no awareness about what situation they're in. It's really baffling to me.
And for Ridley, that's been his MO even in Jacksonville, right? I mean,
we hear from the reporters, they keep saying the same thing, concentration issues, running the wrong route. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You signed a guy that was actually the OC or someone was on that staff that was there that came from Jacksonville, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you knew this, and that this is probable that this could happen. So basically, you need an earpiece in his ear to remind him to, like Levis, about certain situations that you can't have. It's fourth down. We got to get this first down. Make sure you get the depth to get the first down.
Right.
I don't know. Sometimes you can't tell everybody. Yeah. This is not high school.
Yeah, this ain't no hand-holding.
Yeah,
right? I mean, I think that's
a little
the big
disappointing.
issue. I look at it this way, this loss falls, and it's kind of like every loss for this team. You can almost point to one defining moment or one defining failure by a unit that really leads to a loss. And this one fell onto the quarterback. And I just don't think there's any way around it because the play designs work. The play calling all made sense for the most part. In fact, if you go back and watch what is perceived as a Hail Mary play, it's actually a play that looks very similar to one that would have worked early in the year for a touchdown had DeAndre Hopkins, I think, blocked a guy or something. But it was kind of like one of those things where Calvin Ridley starts crossing, I think, late. But it's not a true Hail Mary. It looks like a Hail Mary, but it's designed to be a dump off and get some extra yardage for a touchdown. And if someone is supposed to come and pick up on Tyjae Spears, then that person should leave from Ridley's side of the field, and Ridley should be open.
So why was he was looking for the Hail Mary? He was looking for the deep ball?
That is just J.C. Latham not doing his job.
Right. Well, there's always hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
You sit back here, we watch, and here's why I'm going to say this. Kirby Smart, who's probably one of the better coaches in the NCAA, did the exact same thing with Carson Beck, who now has a UCL surgery or injury to his elbow. He did the exact same thing. We all think Kirby Smart's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
We all think Bill Callahan is a pretty good coach. At least offensively, we think he can design some really good plays. He did the exact same thing, and the quarterback got hurt. Yeah. So now, when do you as a coach make the decision that, you know what, we're going to throw a quick pass here or we're going to knee it?
Yeah.
How do you make that decision? Because I thought, man, by seeing Kirby the night before, that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
It would have made me have pause because I'm watching it. Everybody's kind of relaxed. He might have been watching film, the coach. He might not saw it. But it was played on TV all over the place the next day. I might have had pause just thinking about that. But he ran a play where he also had an outlet for a shorter pass. Yeah. Hey, let's get a first down or keep the chains. I mean, before the clock or run out of bounds or make somebody miss and then try to take it to the house. We get into our playmaker. And he didn't do it. So then you as a coach, once again, I've designed something for you, and then now you made it look like I shouldn't have even done that. I shouldn't even have called a play.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody was saying. Now, if a fan would say that, I would be like, that's interesting. It's kind of hard not to buy in that. But you got to know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
See, as the coach. So, but guess what? You can't, not call plays because you don't believe in your player. You got to call plays in that you believe he can
and
execute.
he believed that J.C. Latham could make that block long enough for a play to happen.
Right. And so, yeah, I do agree with the call. And looking at the design of everything else, it's really hard to say that Will Levis didn't take a few steps back in critical moments, especially in this game, because it was going to be a tight-knit game. We both talked about that, and we play in a division game, and we try to act like though we're so much better than the Jags. I thought 2 wins and 3 wins were very close. So who's the better team? Who wants it the most? Who's really going to win this game? And
it really just came down to Mac Jones just executing at the right time, finding his receivers and all that kind of stuff.
Mac Jones looked better than Will Levis to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Did it look like that to you?
I would say better's relative, right? Because you do have to take into account he threw 2 pretty bad 2 interceptions. But as far as executing the offense and moving his offense up and down the field, I feel that he did better without a run game. At least Will Levis had a run game. Mac Jones didn't even have a real run game for the most of the game. I also look at it like this. Mac Jones makes that chick throw. Mason Rudolph makes that chick throw. Those 2 quarterbacks on the field right there that are healthy that could have made that throw. And if Trevor Lawrence is healthy, you could say that he could make that throw. At the end of the day, it comes down to the quarterback, and these are the same issues that he had in college. These are the same. He's got these habits that feels like they cannot be broken in a manner of speed that this staff needs it to be. And that's why you see some of these young quarterbacks get given up on, and then maybe they have a Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield moment. The difference is that those guys were given a lot of leeway because their staffs probably had a little bit more security. I'm not sure about the security of this. I'm not sure what the ownership is going to do. And he's not a first-round pick, so you don't really feel beholden to him. And at this point, with the way that it's kind of shaped up this season, and think of how many games have we said on the radio so far this year, you and me, and we've said, man, if you just had a different quarterback, you would have won this game. Or if he didn't turn that over, if you had even Mason Rudolph, how many games have we said, Mason Rudolph probably wins you that game? And maybe that's a little pushing it a little too much because it is Mason Rudolph. But how many times have we said that about, man, if you just had this quarterback or a different quarterback, you would have won that game? Too many times. And that's too many times. That's your verdict, right? When you say that all the time.
Well, I think the verdict is, Mac Jones looked like he was a more polished quarterback. Yeah. Even when he made mistakes, you felt like he had a better feel for their offense than Will Levis, and it was more mechanical to me than natural. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't about, Mac Jones is just such this great good. Mac Jones is a quality backup quarterback in this league. That's what he is.
Yep.
It shows how that's supposed to look. And he knew when to run, when not to. He could feel the pocket presence when it was breaking down on him immediately. He was making good throws. Did he make mistakes? Yeah, he did. Things that you could live with. He wasn't making the same mistakes that Will Levis was making.
And continues to make. And if you can't count on your quarterback in the red zone and in high-pressure situations, then I think that pretty much tells you where you need to be going and looking at in 2025. And unfortunately, it's just poor timing in that manner.
With a quarterback. But that leads you to what? Our next conversation about quarterbacks, right?
Well, our next conversation, we're going to talk a little bit about quarterbacks because I want to talk about the Lance Zierlein's prospect report on Will Levis. I'm going to read out all the cons. I'm going to tell you how many has he fixed, and you're going to say if he's fixed it or not from 2 years ago when he was coming out of college. We're going to talk about all this. And they're pretty critical things. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about quarterbacks. We're going to talk about Big Jeff's comments in the locker room. We'll also have Coach Mack for his weekly Mac Attack. We're live at Nissan Stadium. The Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank is today inside Gate 6. We're here till 6 p.m. 3HL will be out here as well. First Horizon Bank makes everything possible. Big bank muscle, small bank hustle. You got A.O. Smith, also participating partner. Pig and Pie was here for breakfast. O'Charlie's for lunch. Law Tigers is also a participating sponsor. So thanks to everybody for coming out so far. We're going to be out here to 6. Got tons of toys. So make sure that you guys come out here and drop off some toys if you're doing holiday shopping. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop, Zach Lyons here, 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, this is Blaine Bishop. I want to know if you have heard about peptides. Peptides are shaking up the fitness world. They are naturally occurring aminos in our bodies. So as we age, they start to decline. And at some point, they may need to be supplemented. This is why our workouts can stop being productive at the gym. So maybe you feel like you hit a wall, or perhaps you feel tired all the time. You may be struggling to stay awake in the evenings when you get home from work. Well, if you have the thought that this is just a normal part of aging, it doesn't have to be that way. Peptides are proven to increase muscle and performance, burn fat, and help with recovery between workouts and more. Peptides can even help with motivation and mental clarity. These are all safe, naturally occurring aminos, not pharmaceuticals. A natural and holistic way to get your body back to peak performance. Plus, Edge Peptide Therapy has the most comprehensive blood panel around. So when you go to Edge, you will know exactly what is going on inside of your body and what it needs to get back to peak performance. So feel better from the inside out. So go to edgepeptide.com. Yes, that's edgepeptide.com. Or just give them a call at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878.
Hello, I'm Ashley Northington, Chair of Moving Forward of Middle Tennessee. The upcoming transit referendum is a game changer for our economy, business leaders, and the entire community. A robust transit system is essential for a thriving economy. With 54 miles of high-capacity transit corridors and 86 miles of new sidewalks, this plan enhances Nashville's connectivity, making it easier for everyone to get where they need to go. This isn't just about transportation, it's about economic empowerment. For business leaders, reliable transit means a more productive workforce. Shorter commutes boost productivity and job satisfaction, helping businesses attract and retain top talent. Improved transit also drives sales and supports local economies by making it easier for customers to reach businesses. The benefits extend to the entire community, connecting people to essential services, education, and recreation. This creates a more inclusive city where everyone can access the resources they need to thrive. Supporting the Choose How You Move transit referendum is an investment in our future. This is about creating a city where businesses can flourish, residents can thrive, and the community enjoys a higher quality of life. Join me in backing this transformative opportunity. Let's build a Nashville where everyone has the opportunity to succeed and to prosper. Visit the link in the caption to learn more about the referendum, how it will support our community, and how you can get involved. Thank you.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. We're out at Nissan Stadium, Toy Field, presented by First Horizon Bank Day inside Gate 6 of Nissan Stadium. Here till 6 p.m. 3HL will be here after us. Everybody from Cumulus is out here. All the stations are out here. But you know what just happened? FedEx of Nashville brought in a delivery truck, an entire delivery truck filled with toys to drop off for the kids here and everything. So that is awesome. Big shout out to FedEx of Nashville.
Man, FedEx
That's awesome.
getting it done.
It does. Fills your heart with warmth,
it
doesn't
does.
it?
Really, Amazon, where are you? Step up your game.
UPS?
Step up your game. UPS,
Come on. Come on.
We calling you out here.
Yeah, DHL. We'll even call out DHL. We'll call out DHL. Everybody, we'll get them out here. Okay, so we're going to talk about the quarterback situation, but I just real quick wanted to go through. Oh, no, real quick, we need to go to Tony in Madison who wants to talk about the Jaguars game. Tony, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Yeah, everybody wants to be down on Will Levis, particularly the Jaguars game. But my feelings is we ran the ball down to the 2-yard line, and then the play caller decided to call 4 straight passes. Mm-hmm. We could have won that game if Tony Pollard had run the ball in from the 2-yard line.
I mean, that's a fair point, Tony, and thanks for your call.
The sequence of those plays.
Yeah, the sequence is a fair criticism.
Yes, it is.
It's a fair criticism, but you also could have won that game if Will Levis would have executed them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, at the end of the day, you call plays with hopes that your quarterback can execute simple stuff.
Didn't they get a holding call that backed them up, and then they got back on a pass interference to the 4, and then they ran it again, and they got stuffed, and then 3 passes.
Right. Yep. Good point, Bananas. But, I mean, I get it, though. The sequence there a little bit. He went a period of time there where he should have at least run the ball one time, and they threw it every time. And now I think analytics actually says that you have a better percentage of throwing for a touchdown when you get inside the 5. I'm going to call it inside the 5-yard line. So
it's funny. Everybody's like, well, why aren't they unleashing Will Levis? You know, they complain all week. Oh, why aren't they unleashing Will Levis? Why aren't they letting Will Levis throw the ball? Then they let him throw the ball and he fails. And then they're like, why aren't they running it? Pick a lane.
How about this? I'm going to be in the middle. How about we do Will Levis with a run-pass option?
There you go.
See,
RPOs.
That's what Jaden Daniels does. That's what they do with all these other quarterbacks. Will Levis, we can't say he's not Jaden Daniels, but we can say he is athletic enough to run the ball.
I think the problem with that is
don't say his shoulder. No,
not his shoulder. I think it was the first 3 weeks of the season when he decided to make a hero ball play, trying to throw it, create something.
No, that's totally different.
I know it's not an RPO, but could be in the back of their mind.
Yeah. No, that was the way to go. If you're going to call plays based off of back of mind, you want the players actually to make the mistake so you can teach them and say it was his fault. That's what you do as a coach. So you got to run the ball. He brings a run element. They ran the ball when he just came back from a shoulder injury.
That's true.
They did 2 games in a row. I was stunned. I like those plays, by the way. That was well designed.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think they should have done something like that, too, just to kind of put it on film so defenses have to prepare for it. Whether you run it or not is a whole other story. But that's just another option. But at the end of the day, Will Levis could have been the savior on a pass play that he messed up.
And really, the plays before that, there were people that he could have gone to, but he just doesn't go through his progressions. But I do agree with I think there's criticism on both in that situation. Mm-hmm. 2nd and 3rd down, criticism can be shared between Brian Callahan and Will Levis. 4th down, criticism is all on Will Levis.
Yes.
I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Okay,
agree.
Here's what Lance Zierlein had to say about Will Levis coming out of the prospect as a draft prospect. Has Will Levis fixed the fact that he's inconsistent post-snap with his confidence to throw on time?
No.
So that'd be no, he has not fixed that.
Golly.
Is he still uncomfortable working against short zones?
I'm no comment.
Okay.
No
comment is a no.
No, it's a no.
That's the reason why it starts with the no.
I mean, Is he a rookie this year?
Yeah, that's what feels. I mean,
that's what I
don't think so, though. But I mean, he's playing like a rookie, but he should not be considered a rookie because he got ample time last year.
Or something like that.
He had 7 or 6 starts. He had half a season last year. He learned how to be a pro last year. This year, he should have taken his ability to the next level, but it feels like he wanted to stay acting like a rookie, training like a rookie, and now he's a rookie quarterback, and that's what you got on your hands. Okay. Is he still struggling to find rhythm as a passer?
Yes.
Exactly. Does he fall into off-platform throws rather than trust in his own footwork?
Is that the drifting?
Yeah, I would assume drifting, or maybe, instead of just like replanting his feet, I think.
Well, I can critique that as saying that sometimes he doesn't do that, but he has the arm strength to do that.
Yeah. Scatter shot, ball placement, and accuracy even on simple throws.
50-50.
Yeah, he's gotten a little bit better on that. Mm-hmm. Poor feel inside the pocket for pressure points.
Definitely that. He did show a little improvement this last game, but that was the first time we saw it.
Career touchdown to interception ratio falls below the 2-to-1 mark, which is true. He's 1.58 to 1, so every 1.58 touchdowns, there's one interception.
You're going to make me cry. Do you agree with any of these? I agree with all.
Poor second reaction decision making with the football.
Dang.
These were all the weaknesses that was him on a prospect. These are pretty big weaknesses, by the way. This is why I was so out on him. But I mean, because you saw all this on film. Uh-huh. This is why I was out on him. This is why he also fell to the second round.
Right, because he had all the arm talent and the actual talent.
And these are all still here. We're in year 2 of being a pro.
Well, we could say that he's
got a little bit better on one.
At a higher level.
Yeah.
So you would think some of that's stagnant, but he would have improved on at least half of those.
Yeah.
I would assume.
And these are all things that we basically talk about almost every week after every game for the most part this season.
You definitely do.
Well, I definitely do because, I mean, it's true. We're gonna go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about quarterbacks. We're going to talk about Big Jeff's comments because I really want to get your feelings on those, and we got the audio for that. We're out here at Nissan Stadium. Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank. We're here till 6 p.m. Come bring all kinds of toys. We got all kinds of filled up. The FedEx of Nashville just dropped them off. Really appreciate what they did. Inside Gate 6 p.m. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here, 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, folks, I've been talking about Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance for years because they're the leading experts in sports medicine and performance and the team physicians for the NFL, college, and high school athletics across Tennessee. And TOA provides sports medicine coverage to more high school and college sports teams than any orthopedic group in the state of Tennessee. They have 29 locations throughout the state and over 100 physicians throughout Middle and East Tennessee to take care of all your musculoskeletal needs. And TOA has 11 urgent care locations with walk-in availability 7 days a week. They offer direct access to sports medicine and performance, physical therapy, and nutrition. Personalized rehabilitation plans to enhance mobility, reduce pain, and improve overall physical function for patients recovering from injuries or surgeries. And TOA also offers sports performance training, a specialized program designed to enhance athletic performance and provide tailored training solutions for athletes at all levels. So please check out their services at TOA.com. Yes, that's TOA.com.
Hey, it's Rhett Bryan from 1045 and of course Titans Radio, inviting you to join our team. If your business needs some promotion, needs some movement, I got 4 little letters for you. EPIC, E, everyone is invited on these offers. P, please contact your local representative when I give you this link and we'll get you started. I, include all of your pertinent information when you hit that link. And C, Cumulus Media. It's not just an audio company. We're not just radio. There are all kinds of digital products because you're watching this right now. It's gonna be epic. All you do is go to 1045thezone.com/epic.
What's happening is Ron Slade, known as Big Slave, all the things, man. Nashville born and bred, right here on 3XL 1045 The Zone. Listen, man, you're thinking about advertising with us with digital, radio, whatever it may be, all of the above under the umbrella. Get with us. Let me do it. I promise you. I'll get it sold for you. You nobody welcome me. Look at the smile. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? 1045thezone.com/epic. Go to that. Get involved. Let's make a joint. Party. Let's do a lot of little things like let's hold hands, run down the street, celebrate. All this little stuff. You know what it is. Let's go.
What's up? Will Bowling here, 1045 The Zone, coming to you on Zone TV. Hey, 1045 The Zone has got a big sale going on, 1045thezone.com/epic. Whether it's radio, digital, we have got ad solutions that work for you. Harness the power of The Zone and Zone TV by getting involved. That's 1045thezone.com/epic. We got big deals going on right for you.
Hey, it's Zach Lyons here of 1045 The Zone, and as the resident sports analytics nerd, I know data, and the numbers tell me that the dual power of radio and digital on 1045 has always delivered for local advertisers. Now's your chance to book your 2025 marketing campaign early with special savings and incentives. Reach out today to your local ad representative or go to 1045thezone.com/epic.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045. You want to get on the conversation? We're live over here at Nissan Stadium, Toy Field, presented by First Horizon Bank. It's today inside Gate 6 until 6 p.m. 3HL will, of course, be up here next. Building a field of toys to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. You know what I brought, Blaine, as my toy? So I was at Target today and doing some toy shopping, figuring out what I was going to get, and I got a axe throwing kit.
I saw you tweet that out.
It's true. It's a little plastic bullseye you set up
for the kids,
and then you throw
kids.
You throw, or the elderly. It could go to the elderly.
I think
maybe work them out.
Banana said he got that as a youngster too.
Did he?
He said it really helped with his eye-hand coordination.
Was it?
Axe throwing.
Oh, I've played one of those before.
Yeah, I bought
as a kid though.
Yeah, I bought a toy one up there.
Yeah,
That's why I got
it's
it's a Nerf one.
It's like plastic, I guess.
Got like
similar to Nerf.
So it's got like bristles coming out of the target, and the axe has like a little slit.
Is that the
in
same
it,
one
so
you
it's-
played?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How old were you?
I don't know.
I mean, just guessing.
Like last year.
Oh no. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. That's what my point is.
No, but I saw that. I was like, well, I got to get this.
Oh my!
It's good for the elderly too. Get them loose and stuff. Maybe I'll get it for my grandma for Christmas.
No doubt, man.
Okay.
Grandma was alive.
So the quarterback situation, we've been kind of talking about it, throughout the show. Like every show, pretty much. It's all, quarterback's the most important position, and it's your
most important position in the world.
Yeah, and the team, and your team is
the sports world.
A big old question mark at the quarterback position, and it's like it's Sam Darnold or a bridge quarterback not named Will Levis, or a bridge quarterback that pushes Will Levis, and maybe Will Levis can't beat him out, that can fit your offense. And it's not a great list of names. It's Sam Darnold and everybody else, unless there's some surprise cut like there is, or someone becomes available and that we're not expecting.
That's Banana's favorite player, Sam Darnold.
Yeah. So, I am open to the idea of Sam Darnold. I mean, he's been in the league since 2019, 2018.
He came into the league at 20 with the Jets.
So he's only 2 years older currently than Will Levis. So you're not paying for a really old quarterback, by the way. So you're looking at it, and I'm like, okay, well, you could actually do Sam Darnold as more than you could do him like Baker Mayfield in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, you could do that kind of situation and not be really beholden to a really expensive contract.
But do you think that's what he's doing now? That 1 year deal to evaluate, and then the next year, which is coming up, is the big deal.
Well, what I'm saying is like this is his evaluation, but the big deal for Baker Mayfield's not that expensive. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about
30 something million, so you could still probably do high 30s relative for quarterback. It's really inexpensive. And so I think there is a deal here. I don't think the NFL is going to go crazy over Sam Darnold in a big-ass bidding war. We're not going to be looking at a situation where he's a $50 million quarterback. I think that's obviously because we've been talking about the market course correcting in this whole entire quarterback market. Quarterbacks are too expensive. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll do some more research, look at the information, look at the teams available, and maybe a team will overpay for Sam Darnold. But I don't consider the Baker Mayfield contract or a few million more to compensate for it being above Baker Mayfield to be that insane of a deal for a quarterback nowadays when you have a relatively low set of options in the quarterback class, especially because of where you're drafting in the draft class. So it's a very different situation that we have going on right now. It's not the time to really need a quarterback, but this is what the drafting of Will Levis, the hanging on to Ryan Tannehill without a backup plan even before you got to Will Levis, and there was no planning about this situation really even before Will Levis came into our lives here at Nissan Stadium. So it's just the situation you find yourself in, and it's about, can Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon make the best of a bad situation? And a guy that comes to mind that we talked about yesterday that I have not watched a lot of film on, but my buddy Stoney Keeley, who watches over 300 draft prospects every year, He's pretty big on Drew Aller, and I know you saw one game and you think there's some hidden stuff there with Aller.
I think he's got some things, but now you're going into a rookie, which as a coach buys you a little more time. I think he has the tools, at least from the surface, but guess what? Will Levis has the tools from the surface now. I think he's much more of a quarterbacky, which means that he's been playing the position and understands the little nuances of the game, because you could see it in the game, when to run, when to throw it away, and he's got a big arm. But here's the question, this could be the defining moment of Coach Callahan's coaching career.
The 2025 for sure is.
Right. And so when I say that is, are you going to force the issue and start seeing things in quarterbacks that aren't really there?
Yeah.
And when I say this, use Sam Darnold. And everybody knows I like Sam Darnold, but I wanted him as a bridge quarterback. Bananas definitely knows that, right? And so what I was thinking at that time was, let's bring him in as a bridge quarterback. He can hold the front. Because what you don't want to do is fall for the okie doke. And when I say okie doke, I mean, what in a body of work, 5 years of body of work of Sam Darnold do you have? We have 1 year of bottle in the lightning. Now, he could come back this year. You sign him to a modest contract. Modest is $35 million or so, whatever it is.
Which is insane to say out loud.
Right. That is crazy, right, for NFL starting quarterback. And if you sign him and he goes back to the old Sam Darnold. And the reason why I say that's a possibility is because, first of all, we don't have our offensive line fixed.
Yeah.
And then he's running an offense that's similar to yours, but not the same. So you don't know how he responds. He's done really well in Kyle Shanahan-like offenses.
Yeah.
O'Connell. So you don't know if he can really... Does he have the tools? I don't know him personally. He has the tools. He can make every throw. That's obvious. He has good mobility. We saw him live right in front of us there with the Vikings, and he's mobile and everything else. But he still has a propensity to throw to the other team.
Right.
That has never changed throughout his career. So are you going to put your name, Mr. Callahan, on Sam Darnold? Different situation. That's not a bridge. Now we're talking about he's the guy. He's your guy. And then now you pass up on the next year. Well, you don't have time to wait. So then what happens is you start saying, he's my best of my options. Yeah. But if there were a whole bunch of better options, would you not even have him on the board?
Right.
See, so that is a little concerning. And sometimes you get put in this divot, let's say, and you come out saying, I have no choice but to go with a player like that.
Because you really can't hitch your wagon to Will Levis in 2025.
And also, where do you go with Will Levis? And now, this is what you're proposing. I like the idea, but I'm not sure if I would go that route.
Yeah.
Guess what I would do?
What would you do?
And I probably would get fired. That's why I'm not coaching. I would keep Levis and trade for, 6th-round pick for yours truly, Hendon Hooker.
I don't think the Lions. You think the Lions would take
and
it?
I would buy some time, whatever pick, 3rd round, he got 4th round, okay, whatever.
Why not trade Levis for Hendon Hooker?
Well, maybe do a swap, but I don't know if they really want to. I don't know how much they're going to like Levis. If I'm getting rid of him, why would you like him?
You have endeared yourself to Orange Nation,
right,
Big Orange Nation.
And now
this is just playing to them, isn't it?
No.
Just to get them on your side.
No. I actually liked Hooker coming out, not because of his arm talent. He had average arm talent for NFL. Now, but his decision-making was off the charts, and we've all seen it. Nobody has gotten this offense and run it like he has, and that's because of what's in between his ears. Mm-hmm. I like my quarterback to be having more what's in between his ears than actual arm talent. If you have good arm talent, that's great, but if you have what's in between the ears, we've seen quarterbacks over the years that don't have the biggest arms and perform well. If we put Brock Purdy up against any of the elite top 15 quarterbacks, he's going to be last.
Yep.
Arm talent. But what's in between his ears is a little bit different. And see, that's what I think is more important. So if I believe he has it, I would like to see him maybe bring in a veteran, for security. I don't know who that could be. Maybe it's a Winston-type player, but I know he's not my guy. But if I need him to start and this guy's incapable, Hooker, then guess what? I'm going to ride with him. We've seen him ride all the way, and you got to ride the highs and lows. But guess what? You may get fired.
Yep.
That may be your only shot. So I'm interested to see what route most people go. Most people would go with the Sam Darnold route. That's the safer play. But, man, I sure would love to see him get Hooker some kind of way to see them head to head with Levis, and that's why I would keep him just to see, so he could see you're not even better than this guy, and you have more talent. So it's all you, and then guess what? It's going to get in his head because that's who he is, and then he's going to get baffled, and Hooker's just going to take off, and his career's going to go.
We'll get to your phone calls. Just stay on the line. But we got Coach Mack coming, so we spent all that time talking about Sam Darnold.
You wasted all that.
Wasted all that time. Don't blame. You're making sure that the UT fans loved you for Hendon Hooker.
Bananas turned his back to me. He turned his back to me, so I don't know how true of a UT fan he is.
Yeah,
man.
he went off before you went on your Hendon Hooker run.
He got cold and he turned his back into the heater.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about all the quarterbacks, but we know one thing. Will Levis in 2025 is looking very, very bleak, and you can't attach your wagon to that. If you're
hold
on the
your
hot
horses.
seat.
Hey, hold up.
We're out here at Nissan Stadium, out doing the Toy Field, presented by First Horizon Bank inside Gate 6. We're here till 6 p.m. 3HL will also be here up next. Make sure you drop on in and bring us some toys and all that kind of stuff for the kids and everything. When we come back, we'll be joined by Coach Mack for his weekly Mack Attack, talking all things Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine and Zach here on 104.5 The Zone.
For many of you who have lived here a long time, you already know Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee area for your European car repair needs now for 24 years. We've all gotten to watch them grow. And I don't know about you, but I love watching a hometown business take off. Well, we're now proud to announce the 5th location in Mount Juliet for Eurofix on Mount Juliet Road, right across the street from Dairy Queen. And Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. Pretty cool getting to watch a small-town mechanic starting in the barn of a backyard of a single-wide trailer and now grow to 5 locations repairing thousands of cars each month. And at Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can just visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. Oh, Tom Blaine said you.
You know what that music means. It's Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. We're out here at Nissan Stadium at the Salvation Army Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank inside Gate 6. We're here till 6 p.m. But that music means that's time for our weekly Mac Attack with Coach Mac, who you can hear also on Mac Talk tonight after 3HL right here on the station. You can hear him every Sunday on Titans Radio covering the games. And, of course, he's brought to you by Tourers Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer. And, Mac, when you look at so many ways the Titans beat the Jags and things like turnover margin, time of possession, penalties, third down conversion rate, the team that wins those typically should have won this game, but it seems the story of the season is always one glaring reason pops up to why they lost a game. And this one boils down to poor execution in the red zone. Scoring points is massive, obviously. What did you see from the Titans in their disappointing trips to the red zone?
Well, I mean, that's exactly what I saw. First of all, I'm glad that you guys are at Toy Field. That's a great cause. Great job by Cumulus sponsoring that. It's always been a huge success, and I know it is. It's still going to be this year. So props to people that bring toys, and if you're listening to this, get in the car, get some toys, and bring them down there because they are much needed. It's a great cause. Let's go to the game. Now, there are about four in NFL ball games. There are moments and inflection points where one team's going to win and one team's going to lose. And if you lose those inflection points, regardless of what your number stats say, you have a chance to lose the ball game. And that's what they did. I mean, the two trips to the red zone were clearly the ones that were the most glaring. You've got two trips really inside in the low red zone, and you come away with 0 points. And that was, and in a ball game like that, where your defense is playing, fairly decent, keeping them scoreless for 3 quarters. But if you keep, and I just, I've been in enough games and calling that game, I just kept getting the feeling that if you keep letting these people hang around and you keep giving them chances and you keep squandering your chances, well, then all of a sudden it's going to come back to bite you, and it did.
Obviously wins cure everything, and wins are just hard to come by for this team this year. So how do you go about changing the narrative in a season like this the rest of the way, where you're trying to provide some hope and a spark of faith from not only from the players, from the ownership, and also for the fans?
Well, you got to score points, first of all. I mean, you're not going to win many games in this era of the National Football League only scoring 6 points. I mean, you've got to score a touchdown. This group that we're getting ready to play this week, they're right about, in the middle of the pack as to what's going on in the National Football League. They're not leading their division, but they do score 28 points a game. I've called enough defenses in this league to know that if I go into a ball game knowing on average I've got a chance, a 28-point at least cushion that I can call and play defense to, that's a pretty nice feeling. But when you're on the opposite end of it, and you're not scoring any points, and you've got to be exactly perfect on defense, and all of a sudden if you give up one touchdown, that it may be the end of the ball game. I mean, it's a hard way to live in this league.
Brian Callahan kind of talked about the same thing you did. There's about 4 inflection points, and I think his wording were 4 critical plays that were missed. Obviously the play to Okonkwo has come under fire and under scrutiny, and a couple of other plays that kind of turned the tide. This team, a lot of it has been made about play sequencing, play execution. At the end of the day, these plays seem to be in a position to work, just the players aren't executing. At some point, how do you actually – is that something you can fix this late in the season, or is it just you are who you say you are?
No, the quarterback on those two has to fix it because those 2 plays that you're talking about, those low red zone plays, I mean, there were shallow crossers coming in both of them. The one, the 4th down that he flipped in the back to NWI, I mean, you got Ridley sitting down there in a dead spot that you could throw to, and then Chig was wide open, and it was a multi-layered route. But as the route progressed and Chig started to back up a little bit, he backed up too far. But the play should have gone to Chig immediately. So yeah, I mean, if it's there, if it's designed, it's hard to scheme people open in this league, and when you do, your quarterback has to take advantage of it. I mean, that's just end of story. That we had one. There's one 3rd down, and again, I watch this game just like I'm in a box coaching, and so I'd see it all. And the one 3rd down where he got pressure immediately from the right side, and got sacked. He had two guys coming down either side of the railroad track wide open, but he didn't have time to get it off. So it's a composite group thing. But when you get them schemed open, and especially the way you were running the ball early, you're going to be able to scheme some of them open. The low red zone's a different story because everything's packed in down there. So it's got the decisions have to be quick, they have to be precise, and it has to come out. But you have to get better at it because the schemes are there. You got to execute it.
We're on with Coach Mack of Titans Radio, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Well, Coach, we had two backup linebackers playing in this game. What were your thoughts on their play, and do you think they'll get an opportunity to continue to play?
Well, I think they will. First of all, I mean, I don't know what Murray's situation is going to be, but going into this ball game on the heels of playing the worst run defense they had played all year up at Washington, I mean, because I'm at practice every day. I mean, I'm not, I watch. I mean, I watch. I don't coach. I watch and look at them. But they were making a huge emphasis on the fact that regardless of what happens, we're not going to let them run the football on us the way they ran it last week. And those guys, the guys up front, but those two linebackers, that got their really basically first chances to start in the National Football League and have to play, 50-plus plays, I thought they did an excellent job. I thought Frank Bush did a tremendous job of getting them ready. And there's a lot of credit to those young players, too, knowing that, that they were going to have to wear the hat for the entire game, which is something neither one of them have done in their career. And they stepped up and did a really, really nice job in there.
Oh, you still there, Coach?
Yeah, I'm here. You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, so I thought they did a tremendous job with it. I mean, they knew they were going to have to wear the hat, as I said, and they took on that responsibility, and they did a good job. I mean, the run defense was exactly what you want. I mean, Bigsby got loose there at the end, but sooner or later, Bigsby's not an empty chair carrying the ball either. But for the most part, they did a nice job with the run defense. They did enough with the run defense to win the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. ETN had a huge impact in the passing game, but I really would love to hear, how much pressure there is today to win now for rookie coaches and, compared to, your time in the league coaching, and what advice would you give for a young first-year coach?
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got to stay the course. Yeah, there's always pressure to win. Mm-hmm. This league has not changed. You heard me tell the whole Ditka thing when he first hired me. 38 years ago. Every day is an interview, and that's the truth. But the pressure, the pressure, you can't that. And I know as a competitive athlete, you never let the pressure bother you. What you wanted to do was be prepared. You got to be prepared, and then you got to perform. But the expectations. I think the word is expectations rather than pressure, because the expectation in this league, you got a very short time frame in this league as a coach and as a player to win. You just got a shorter time frame than it ever used to be, and so every ball game is critical, and every game that you lose takes you further away from that time frame.
Well, Coach, it seems like every week there are plays we can point to that are self-inflicted. Levis missing Chig, Ridley running out of bounds, NWI in the end zone, MPF missing a block, Latham missing a block, Radin's holding call, all critical plays, can't come up with a third down play on defense. What is the cause, and is there a fix?
Well, yeah, there's a fix, but you have to look at them individually to see what happened. It's not one cause, and the point that you bring up, it's a myriad of things at inopportune times in the game, right, as to where the NWI thing. I mean, that was a high throw. I mean, he didn't get both hands on it, but the other ones, I mean, those are structural things that if you're going to win ball games in the National Football League, as tight as it is, and especially as tight as it is when you're not producing a lot of points, you've got to take advantage of all of those situations. And so, I mean, it's not just one thing, that is happening, and it's not just one position group, nor is it just one person. But in totality, in those moments that you've both talked about, which you're both very correct, you got about four inflection points in that ball game where the group that won was probably going to win that game as close as it was, and the Titans didn't win any of them.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you this, and I don't know if you know the answer. It's an analytic question, and that is, do they factor in teams, I guess, on that day, whether it's bad weather, field surface, if it's going to be a low-scoring game? I mean, do they have any metrics for analytics on that?
Zach, your analytics dude there.
I know. That's why I looked at him, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I was I was always deep into the analytics part of it, but the environmental. I love the analytics part of it, but the environmental factors, those are factors that are hard to figure in, because you may have one team that can handle the environment, one team that doesn't handle the environment so well. So, but I don't know if they've got a linear description as to how much that factors in. So, ask your guru there.
Yeah, well, go ahead there.
Well, I mean, it's different for every team. I don't think there's in who you have on your team, where they're from, all that kind of stuff factors in too, because there are going to be those kids that play at Ohio State for 4 years that can handle everything, and then and all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of depends on. And here, it's not really that bad ever. I mean, it was
the weather,
yeah. So I mean, weather's probably not a factor here as much as a place like Kansas City. This time of the year, same as Chicago, wind, because wind is a bigger factor. The wind has a lot of analytics with it about how you choose to coin toss and everything. Well,
and there you go, and that's a very good answer. I just know the 10 years I was in Chicago, played in a lot of cold games, and it didn't matter. They just greased up their arms and went and won.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're on with Coach Mack, giving us the Mack attack.
Coach, NPF has struggled all year with handling defenders that sink their hips coming around the corner in their pass rush set. This time it was a little even more embarrassing because it was a rookie cornerback who NPF just watched go by him. But when you have a kryptonite like that, a weakness that's apparent on tape and defenses know they can exploit, how do you coach through that in season if you're Bill Callahan?
Well, I mean, first of all, the player has to knuckle up and be able to recognize what's going on. That was a protection. He should have moved out on the protection. That was just as much a mental error as it was anything else.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've got something, you've got a guy sitting right there with you. That if you've got something structurally wrong and technique-wise wrong with your game, you're the one that has to fix it. I mean, you've got to fix it. I mean, a coach can go through everything he wants to with it, but until you get out there and it's flying, you got to fix it. Now, what can you do structurally? Well, you can keep somebody else over there to help him, but if you keep somebody else over there to help him, they had 5 tight ends up in this ball game, to try to help, with some of that stuff. And it helped in the run game early on because they were just, they were being able to knock people off the ball. But sooner or later, if you've got a starting position in the National Football League, there are certain times that you've got to stand on your own 2 feet with all your cleats in the ground, and that's what has to happen.
You bring up the 5 tight ends being active, and there was a couple of I don't know if you really could classify them as 13 personnel. 1 running back, 3 tight ends. When John Ojukwu is out there on the other side as a tackle, but. What are some of the trickle-down effects of changing your personnel to something like that Titans version where it's, Ojukwu is, technically a tight end on the other side of the right tackle of the NPF, and you basically have those 2 right tackles out there? Like, what are some of the effects to the offense, to the personnel, and all those changes?
Got a report.
Well, I mean, there is a name for it. It's Jumbo 13. So
yeah. Gotcha. There you go.
Right. It's Jumbo 13, but defensively, you've got to decide as to how you're going to match personnel-wise. That's number 1. And number 2, if you've got at least one of the – I mean, they do. I mean, at least 3 of those tight ends could go out for passes. So you've got to decide structurally, personnel-wise, depending on down and distance, how are we going to match this? Are we going to match this? Are we going to all of a sudden move from a 4-man to a 5-man front? Are we going to bring a safety down? Are we going to bring a linebacker down and set him up over the tight end and put a defensive end, outside of him to line up on that jumbo tight end that is basically the big edge, the long edge out there? There's a lot of things that you have to do with it, and they were clearly getting into it to run the football. And so what you saw happening was that. The Jaguars started tightening down their splits and bringing more people up to the line of scrimmage, and the Titans were still able to knock them off the ball. But sooner or later, you've got to be able to spin the ball down the field, especially in a ball game where nobody is scoring.
So when that kind of package is introduced, is that something that a team has technically been working on all year round, or is this something that they looked at the tape of the Jaguars and decided, okay, we're going to start filtering in some of these plays? Like, what all goes into assessing when it's time to make that type of personnel call?
Well, they've had that jumbo package all year. I mean, they've had it all year. Now, they have not ever had 5 tight ends up at once. And the part of having the 5 tight ends up is being able to get some better help on special teams, you know, and especially on the protection and the coverage. And both of those were fine. But, and again, too, I mean, they wanted to get DMR up, too, and see what he's done, because he's been practicing really well all year. You know, and there's a guy that you would like to get some game time experience with. So I think it had a twofold purpose as far as it was strategic. Then it was also getting a guy like DMR up and active and putting him in a ball game and letting him feel and see what it's truly like out there for real.
You know, you brought up special teams, and real quick, and I think Sunday special teams performance will be overshadowed because of the prior 12 weeks of special teams performances. But me and Blaine have been talking about how well the special teams looked. They looked like a fire was lit under their butts. They looked like they were hunters out there, and that's something that Colt Anderson talked about last week. Just talk about what you saw from special teams, and did it looks like the personnel changes that they made heading into this game really put out a spark for this special teams unit.
Yeah, you know, Zach, that should be the norm for your special teams. Mm-hmm. It should be. I mean, that's you've got guys that are trying to make a living or to stay around long enough on a National Football League squad. You've got to make your bones on those special teams. That should be the DNA of your special teams, you know, without a question, all of the time. That should be expected. And those types of things, to me, I mean, you need to, when you come into this league and you haven't been a special teams player before, which hardly any of these guys have. It used to be different back in the day. When I first got, you know, in the league, we'd keep 5 or 6 guys because there was no free agency that would be veterans, that's what they did. And there's nuances to doing it. But nowadays, I mean, you've got to be, if you're a young player or you're a player that's fighting for a position on a 53-man roster, you should be just chomping at the bit to get in there to play special teams, because that's the only chance you're going to get to impress somebody and to be able to stay around. So to me, those type of performances that they've been doing lately, that should be the norm.
I mean, it was awesome for sure.
Yeah, Coach. Before we let you go, I have to ask you. You know, I played on some bad teams, some tough teams. We have losing record, and I'm sure you've coached some. Kind of take us through, as a head coach, what you do to make sure that your team stays together and as one, instead of getting fractured and divided as individuals.
Well, you've got to be honest. You got to be honest with them. But look, if a team starts fracturing, then all of a sudden you find out who the fracture is, and they're probably not going to be around. Or you see, you know, if they're justified. I never really, you know, when we weren't being successful a couple of times in my coaching career, I never was very critical of what the players said afterwards, because, you know, there's frustration with that. You know how hard you prepare it and how much it means. I mean, I never took a lot into that, but honesty to me is the thing that is, and that comes, you know, in the postmortems that you have after ball games on Monday. It comes on the clarity that you have with your team in team meetings. I mean, you can't sugarcoat or work around if things aren't going right, and you've got to point out whether it's coaching or whether it's the players. And so if people start grumbling, you know, about that, then you've got to start to wonder, well, where are their priorities?
Got you.
Well, that was Coach Mack here for his weekly Mack Attack here on Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons. Of course, we're out here at the Toy Field, and it's been awesome. We wish you were out here, Mack, with us and everything. But we understand we got practice you got to go to, so we understand.
Well, it's not practice today. I was speaking at an event.
It's Tuesday.
I'm going to help with a charity, and so I had me speaking at an event today. But I know one thing: you guys, along with Santa Claus, will fill up the Toy Field.
There you go. It's filling up right now. I brought my toy, a little axe throwing kit for the kids. Just something a little different for them and everything. But we have Coach Mack, of course. You can hear him on Titans Radio with Mike Keith, covering all the games anytime that the Tennessee Titans are playing. Then, of course, you can hear Coach Mack later on after 3HL here at 6 p.m. right here on this station for Mack Talk. He's brought to you by Two Rivers Ford. Coach Mack, thanks so much.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Guys, appreciate you a lot. See you.
See ya. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that fracturing, question that you ended on with Coach Matt, because I want to talk about Big Jeff's comments and get your thoughts from the player perspective of what he said after the game in the locker room. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. You want to get in on the conversation. We're out here at Nissan Stadium doing the Salvation Army Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank. Gate 6 of Nissan Stadium. You can come to park on the riverside over in Lot H, bring up the toys. We got the field set up, tons of toys here. And, of course, FedEx Nashville, like I said earlier, brought in their truck just filled with toys. I mean,
represent.
How cool is that?
Oh, that's big time, man. All those other delivery services are not doing so well. They got to catch up to FedEx.
I know. All businesses do. You got to catch up to A.O. Smith, Pig and Pie, O'Charlie's, of course, First Horizon Bank, and Law Tigers. You guys got to catch up to these guys. These sponsors were out here helping and putting on this great event, which has been awesome to see people come in and out. Dropping off toys. Almost full. 3HL will be up here next as well. But you were talking earlier, Blaine, and you asked Coach Mack a question about a kind of a splintering locker room, a fracturing locker room.
Yeah.
And there were some comments made by Big Jeff, and we have talked about sort of these instances and remarks by Big Jeff. You know, sometimes we think that he probably should say less. Sometimes we think he should say more. And, you know, when you are under that much scrutiny as a player, you get critiqued a lot.
Yeah.
So I clipped off the first clip that we're going to play is Big Jeff talking about the game itself, but then he's going to go into and talk about the offensive line, and I want to get your perception about this.
I'm in football. Been preaching all year. We fixed the mistakes from the run game last week. Came in here with a mindset, got back to all style, stopped the run. I mean, even on that the one they scored on, just got to get them on the ground. We knew they weren't going to be able to run the ball inside. He bounced the ball, just got a tackle on the head. But it's just frustrating. We talk about it all week. We got to play complimentary football, and 2 turnovers, and if you win a turnover margin, there's no way you shouldn't win the game. So at the end of the day, I've really been tired of saying the same shit. This sucks, and apparently we're not in a position, and we don't do enough to win games. And all the way around, I'm tired of seeing our quarterback on the ground. I'm tired of seeing him squirreling on the damn ground. Actually, getting his block knocked off by their edge guys, and I don't know, man. Like it's frustrating to see that, and especially right before the half, we know we throwing the ball. Like we know they finna rush. It's frustrating. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm tired of saying we got to do better, we got to play better, and it just, I don't know. I don't have no answers. Just complimentary football wasn't there.
So complimentary football wasn't there. Now, there's a couple of ways you can take that, I think. But I'm going to let you give me your thoughts, because we have talked about the finger pointing and stuff kind of being a sign when players do it. But I don't get that sense that this is what that is. It feels like a leader, trying to, figure out what's going on and figure out, and probably maybe 3 years of frustration of seeing a quarterback be on the ground.
Well, I don't know about 3 years, which is the case. I think he's looking in the vacuum for this season. I really didn't have any huge issues with it, but being, a captain, I would always try to just stick to my side of the ball. Okay. I don't want to speak on the behalf of the other players. I'm not on that side. I'm not, in the game, in the meeting rooms, game planning. Obviously, he's seeing the quarterback on the ground, and I don't think he was on the ground very much this game, to be honest.
Right.
So
you saw it twice.
I just thought he was venting, just out of frustration, because after the game he's frustrated. They're continuing to lose, and I think he just kind of just stick with that instead of kind of talking about things on the other side of the ball and not really understanding the whole totality of the situation. You're out there playing in the game, and then you're sitting there resting and trying to make your adjustment on the side of the game, and you're only watching peaks and valleys of a game on the offensive side. So that's the only part of error. But at this point in time, it's really, I think it's mute. I don't think anybody thought it was finger pointing. To your point, I don't think he was going in that direction at all. But I would make sure.
So it's not fracturing.
No, that's not fracturing.
That's just venting.
Yeah, I thought that was just venting. I didn't think that was a fracturing. I wasn't wasn't referencing fracturing with him. I hadn't heard that interview.
Yeah, I know you weren't.
But I just thought you also have to make sure you stay together when things are at its worst. You got to come even tighter together and to play for one another. To be honest, it's a brotherhood, and that's kind of where I would have went down that road more so than venting. I really believe that they need to, as bad as it sounds, after games, that they need to give players a little bit more time to kind of take in the loss, because it's an emotional high. No one knows and understands how emotionally high how players have to get up for a game. And to bring it back down in that short little window there, probably 20 minutes or so, is really tough. And then to speak eloquent about what actually happened in a game, I think until you actually do that, do you understand? Because I had to learn myself, like, how to even get up for a game so you don't have those shortcomings. And then how to bring it back down. And sometimes I always make sure I go on the cold tub. See, that's going to bring me back down because I'm thinking about the cold tub. So, I think that's what that was. I didn't think any of that was inappropriate. But I would always stick just to my side of the ball, though. I don't want to ever speak on the other side. We all know what happened out there, and they were moving the ball. They just couldn't score in the red zone.
Okay, so there's another clip, but we're not going to play it. I transcribed it the other night. The reason we're not going to play it is I can say it faster than he can.
Oh.
When you are a leader, there's only so much you can say. We lost the game. Mm-hmm. Just trying to preach you are what you put on tape. Resume is everything. Tape in your resume. Mm-hmm. All about what guys want to put on tape. And like I said, you can have that mindset that we're not playing for nothing, but you're playing for the name on your back. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the way, is playing for that name on my back. Now, that part, I ad-libbed a little bit just to reiterate that part. Because I don't disagree, because that quote was obviously put out in a little bit of context. You had to listen to the whole thing. Right. But when you listen to the whole thing, it's more of, again, I think him trying to be a leader. I just don't think he's that great of a leader, to be honest with you. But at least he's putting forth an effort. But But do you think that he really means that you're playing just for yourself, or do you think he's trying to say that you got a lot to play for still the rest of the way?
No, I think he's saying this, and I think that's where I don't know if he's real eloquent with his words. I think he's saying you're playing for pride, and if you don't have pride for the name on your back, then you don't have pride at all. Then you're not built for this league. So I think you're playing for pride, because when you turn on the tape, you always want to like what you see. And if you don't like what you see, then you're not going to be there for very long. So I think you're playing for pride, and then ultimately then that leads to the name on the back and the name on the front, which is the organization. So I think that's what he's meaning there, and not really saying it that way. But I think I understand how some people take it out of context. I don't believe he's saying anything other than that.
That's what it felt like to me, as a guy that maybe is not still comfortable with leadership and front facing and being all that, still trying to be. It's kind of like he's trying to be something that he truly isn't. And he means well in these two situations.
So. Absolutely.
That's how I took it. And so that's why I was wondering the player perception. Maybe I was being too soft or too easy on Big Jeff. So I just wanted to get your perspective on that.
Now, this is one of the times I thought he was appropriate, just the way his dialogue about how he expresses himself. So I think this was talking about pride.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. This was a big pride issue. So in all of this commotion, all these pressers, this loss and everything, I think the big question becomes, and it's a talking point, and it's something that we're going to discuss tomorrow. Here's a little spoiler alert for you. Is Brian Callahan actually in over his head, or are we just weighing these losses and thinking that he is in over his head? So that's something we're going to talk about tomorrow. 3HL's up next. Of course, we're at the Toy Field presented by First Horizon Bank inside Gate 6. Make sure that you come out here. We're here till 6 p.m. Park in Lot H. It faces the river.
Concourse 6.
Fort Blaine Bishop. I'm Zach Lyons. Has been covered 2 on 104.5 The Zone. And in the meantime.
And in between time.
Peace.